So let us start off with our usual. We apologize if this does not work.
Yeah. Well, how late are we? 5 minutes.
5 minutes. We're almost on time for once.
This is our usual time, fairly usual.
Yeah, we're usually 10 minutes late. We're
Something
getting
like
better.
that. Slightly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to Another Life podcast.
Yep. Number 10.
Or if you're watching this in the future, just a podcast.
Yes, exactly. All the digits.
10.
Unless you're Pete. Pete has half a finger. Or he had the tip of his finger taken off, so then he had
It's kind of like that.
9.75. That's as far as he can count. Yeah. So, hey, welcome back, guys, to another historic moment in the Dad Mods podcast. It's not really historic, but we think it is.
It's 2.5 months.
It's cool, and this has been a blast. So, today we've got some interesting things in store for you guys.
Yeah.
We've got a local band that we want you to hear. That's going to be playing at the very end.
We got a couple epic fails, or at least a epic fail on my part.
Yeah. All I've seen is the photo, and let's just say the photo speaks very loudly. We got some great dad moments.
We do.
There's some pretty funny ones in there.
We have an unboxing of some car parts that we ordered.
Yeah. I didn't even think to give the people a heads up.
That's fine.
That's probably
you don't even know what's in the box.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I would. I even give them a heads up.
I could go straight.
Where is it?
It's over by me.
Okay.
I could go straight Kevin Spacey on you. You never know.
Oh boy, is that a Usual Suspects reference?
7.
7. Ah, okay.
His other good film.
Yeah, that's right. Is this before or after he was grabbing dudes' wangs on set? I don't know.
Daring?
I don't know the history of it.
It was filmed with Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt, so if you're going to grab Wang...
Yeah, I mean, you're in a good crowd
there.
Yeah. So, hey, ladies and gentlemen, what are you guys sipping on? Let us know in the comments. I'm going to pull that up so we can see if we've got anybody commenting.
No.
Nope, not yet. But we're going to start drinking our beer.
What are we drinking?
We're drinking, drum roll,
Busch Lattes?
Busch Lattes. So we're drinking Extra Citra Pale Ale by Surly.
I have not had these.
And so what's funny about this is we take turns each week surprising the other person with a beer that we recommend, right?
Or just buy on whim.
In any other, yeah, exactly. In any other scenario, any other week, the person who is purchasing the beer has to have they have to put the effort forth to go and acquire it. But so I was a little behind this week, and Steve, our buddy Steve, was over the other day and actually brought a 6-pack over of 2 different kinds of Surly's.
Wait, so these are Steve's beers?
Well, Steve brought them over, and he's like, "Here, you can have them."
Thank you, Steve, for providing the beer tonight.
Steve provides the beer, yeah. So this is a Surly Extra. It's a Citra Pale Ale, so it's like a...
So you don't even know what this is.
Very IPA, IPA.
Did you have one?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we drank the rest of them.
All right.
Mm-hmm. And then I've got another one in here, which we'll show you guys a little bit later.
I love Surly.
Yes.
I think every beer I've had from Surly has been fantastic.
Yeah, it's
I've never had a bad Surly beer.
Very good beer. This looks like the live chat's not working. What's going on there?
I don't know. Did you break it?
I don't know. I'm just going to do a little pop-out right here. Let's see if that works. We got a little ninja down there. Hey, there it is. Great. Watermelon says he's drinking milk. Sipping on Argon currently. Soon to be some sort of beer. Argon?
What's Argon?
Are we talking the gas, like the shielding gas? Or are we
you
talking...
welding?
Yeah, well, he has a nice tag, but... What the hell is Argon besides a shielding gas? Yeah, so, anyways... Shall we get into it?
We shall.
We shall get into it.
Just jump right into history?
Let's just jump right in to the history.
Pull out my notes, which is
just a
screenshot of what I found.
Okay.
So, in 1933, the company Toyota, with a D.
Really? It had a D?
It had a D.
D.
Built their first engine.
D's nuts.
And then in 34 introduced their first vehicle, which is the A1. Now, one thing you can notice in their early vehicles is they actually kind of based them off of
It's
Chrysler's
really
and Dodge.
cute, really pretty.
Yeah, so there's a heavy American influence. So from my
That's pretty
understanding, Toyota Motor Company eventually came along. They kind of parted ways, but this was actually a company that was making sewing machines.
Oh, that's so funny how that happens.
Yeah, and then they got into like, let's make an engine.
Yeah, we just had that old BMW, the Dixie,
Yeah.
a month ago. What was their situation? BMW was something else beforehand too.
Yeah.
I don't know if we touched on what it was.
I can't remember. I know they made planes at one point in time before they
for sure.
made vehicles, which is how they got their logo.
Oh, that makes
The
sense.
blue white's supposed
Yeah.
to be a propeller going through the air.
That's super cool. Okay, that makes sense. So this is the Yoda, huh? The
Yes.
toy Yoda.
Yoda.
That's
Yeah,
so
it
funny.
it doesn't
Yoda.
say when they switched it to Toyota Group, but yeah. So they started off with
When
the
it
A1,
became a group.
but it became the group. Like they branched off essentially and had a car division and a sewing machine division.
Did they have Lexus back then?
No.
No. They had a luxury version of that.
It had suspension. That was the luxury version.
Yeah, right.
Do you want to ride on the frame, or do you want some springs in there?
Justin's welding some aluminum boat parts. So that
Ah,
makes sense.
okay.
Very cool.
So after the A1, a few short months later was the G1, which is their pickup, which is a masterpiece. I've actually never seen this before, and I saw that image. I'm like,
Yeah, that's pretty.
I wish I could own one, but there's so few left in the world that you can't
Yeah.
afford one ever.
I know, it's a shame. That seems to be like the story with a lot of these really vintage Toyotas. What is the what is it? The something GT. Oh my god.
Something GT.
Yeah.
So it was a sports car.
Yeah. No, it's a masterpiece. It's like their Jaguar E-Type.
Yeah, competed with Ferraris.
3000 GT? No.
Yes.
Yes.
I think it's the 3000 GT. I know what you're talking about.
No, but the 3000 GT isn't that a Mitsubishi?
Yes, but I think
2000 GT.
sure. It had the bubble glass headlights, right?
Can one of you guys tell us? See, the funny thing is, we'd look it up real quick on
But
one
we
of our phones,
can't,
but we
'cause-
get interference with the microphone. So if somebody could chime in about what exactly that is, I think it's something 1000 GT.
Yeah, it is something GT. Toyota, though, has made just some of the best cars of all time.
Yeah, they really have.
The LFA is one of my favorites, despite them constantly losing money on it.
Yeah, well, I mean, isn't that like a sign of excellence in auto
Yeah,
manufacturing?
they engineered it, then like halfway through the project, they're like, we can make this lighter, so they just scrapped everything and started over.
Right. Well, you look at the Veyron.
Yeah.
The Bugatti Veyron. The Vag loses money on. Well, Volkswagen Audi Group, for you guys who don't know what that is. They lose money on every single one, from what I've heard.
But
So
then
apparently that's just what happens if you make something crazy.
Yeah, but I think it's just to prove a point, but look what we can do.
Although Lamborghini and Ferrari aren't losing money on their cars.
No.
So I don't know what these guys are doing right or wrong. Who knows? But
Yeah, they I don't know. They made everything from like the MR2, which I think the second gen is up there, and like most beautiful cars ever made, especially in yellow. It's like one of the few cars I like in yellow.
Yeah, the yellow does look really nice.
So they, as you know, Toyota. I mean, the Supra is iconic. Thanks Fast and the Furious for that.
Yeah, right.
But like as a reasonable like hardcore sports car goes, I think that would be one on my bucket list someday.
Right.
Because those you can get now for a decent price.
Yeah. Well, the Mark IV.
Yeah.
I don't know what decent. They were decent priced. There was like a funky window of time right before Fast and the Furious. They were reasonable, and then it seemed like you could get them for around like 12 to 16,000 back in like
Really?
2006, 2008.
I've always thought they went for about 40.
No, they were never. Well, I should say never. They did reach that point eventually, but because I remember looking for them, I was looking for an FDR X7 or a Mark IV Supra when I was living up in Virginia. I was making really good money at that point, and I was just for shits looking them up, and of course, like that, 5-digit price tag was out of my reach, unfortunately. And the irony is that I could have very easily afforded it with how much money I sunk into that stupid Del Sol.
Yeah, but the difference is though, is
But-
the Del Sol wasn't here's $15,000 all at once.
Yeah, but
It's overtime.
me knowing now, that would have been the smarter thing to do because 1, rear wheel drive, 2, JZ,
and
worth a shitload of money now.
collector car, borderline collector
Yeah.
car. They just keep going up in price.
God, but I would have been the idiot who put a body kit on it and decals on the side.
Yes. And then would you try to rob
So-
semis and
Yeah.
have your
I
buddy
think we're
jump
safe
off
from
of it
that.
and stuff?
If anything, I would have done that with the Del Sol because really, what's easier than climbing out of the Targa top so that you can jump onto the hood of the semi
Fair
than
enough.
a Del Sol. It even has like a nice big
But
flat
see-
trunk and
The problem with the Del Sol though is the semi's faster.
well, the semi's faster than Civics too. Better 0 to 60 times. Yeah. So
That's car history.
Mark IV Supra,
Toyota just
Toyota.
going, like I said, since like mid 30s. 90 years of automotive technology and just excellence. I mean, they made some crap cars. I mean, the Prius
Oh, for sure.
is borderline a crap car. It's a good idea.
Well,
I
here's
feel.
the thing. I have a different opinion of the Prius these days.
I like modified Priuses.
So, I look at the Prius as that cars like that are going to make it possible for us to drive gas guzzling high performance
Good way to
things
look at it.
because we want the majority of the population to be driving like gas sipping cheap environmentally friendly commuter cars because then that leaves that much more of the reserves for the future for I mean obviously
For a
it's going to
petrol
become
head.
more of a niche market eventually and it's
Eventually
probably going to be like people riding horses.
Yeah, it'll probably eventually fade out.
Gas engines will probably be a little more like that. But, I mean, not everybody's going to be able to afford a electric swap into whatever their old hunk of junk is. So it's nice to know that it's because of cars like that that might kind of help us be able to continue burning fossil fuels into the future.
It's a happy compromise,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah, and I mean, it is a very hateable car, but...
Well, there's one you showed me months ago, and I didn't think of looking up a picture to share. If you're bored, go to Google. There is a yellow taxi cab inspired slammed Prius.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't. Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
I think he's up in Canada, if I remember. And the thing is just, it looks cool. It's just slammed, big spoiler on it. And I'd rock the crap out of it.
Oh, man. Yeah, I do like, they have that white color. I think it's the second gen Prius.
That pearl white.
Yeah. Seen a couple of those that are lowered. And, I mean, yeah, I'd drive it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. This is, like, probably the biggest selling point for me. And it's going to sound silly. So, the air conditioning works when the car is off. Think about that.
So you can sleep in it year round.
You can camp in those things.
Yeah.
In fact, Justin, who's in the chat right now, who's watching, has camped in it. And he says all you do is you leave the car on and it just kicks out the air conditioning the whole time, and when it needs to fire back up to charge the batteries, it does.
That's cool.
So you can just camp in the thing. Just make sure you don't have, exhaust gas getting inside the car.
That's so cool though.
Yeah,
so
that'd be kind of
what you're saying is we should sell Subarus and then buy Priuses.
Oh boy. No. I just can't do that. What we should do is we should take a Prius, cut the body off, and then put something cool on top of it.
Like a Subaru.
Oh, that sounds pretty lame. That's like the worst of both worlds. Which Subaru body would you put on there? I don't find Subarus that sexy that...
Well,
I
if you're
could
going to go for
justify
the most
that.
grotesque thing you could possibly think of, I'd go with the Tribeca.
You put the Tribeca, okay.
Because it'd just be awful
So you'd
in every
lose
way
the
possible.
all-wheel drive.
It'd be awful all the way around. Get the ugliest Subaru on
Make
a
it
Prius.
front-wheel drive. Cut the power in a third.
Yes.
Perfect.
That'll
Okay. I mean, what about... so it'd be front-wheel drive, so it'd have to be... God, I don't know. What's an obscure car?
Well, Subaru had the Impreza in the 90s that was front-wheel drive.
You're really stuck on Subaru.
I am.
So you want to lose all-wheel drive?
No,
to
you
go
get a
front?
front-wheel drive Subaru, like a 96 Impreza, I think, is the model.
Man. See, there are way cooler cars that you could do it with than that. See, I go to well, I was gonna say Tercel. That's not what I mean. Pulsar? I feel like there was
Maybe
some
some
early,
Pulsar?
not the
Okay.
GTIR, but like the US pulsar. Do we have that? I don't know. Whatever. You guys, if you got an idea,
You know
that'd
what
be
you're
cool
talking about.
to put the body on top of a Prius, and they'd be like, "Why the hell would you ever do that?" It'd be like, "Well, because I want to be able to sleep overnight in an EG hatch with the air conditioning."
There you
going.
go.
But I don't want to lose any sense of modability.
So get a CRX. They're not the greatest looking thing in the world. You can still camp in it.
Not the greatest looking thing.
I'm not a big fan of the CRX.
I think they're pretty cool.
I think they got lazy. They designed 3/4 of the car, and then they just kind of stopped.
You realize the hatch is all glass.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know.
It's all glass.
I know. I never
And
liked.
like the flat part is like glass to glass. Like you can see through
Yeah.
the...
Yeah.
They're so cool.
They're okay.
Oh, God.
I'm not a big fan of the late 80s, early 90s Hondas. Like, the Integras are okay. I do like the Accords. The early Accords, I think, are pretty cool.
What about, like, the Prelude? What about, like, this super notchy? It looks like a R31 or R30 Skyline.
I'd still take the 3rd gen or 2nd gen Preludes.
Those are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. So, let's get into dad moments.
Yep.
Or do we got anything else to digress on?
Nope. Toyotas. Been around forever. Can't kill them. Made the best car of all time, which is probably like a 94 Camry, because they just run forever.
That is very true. All right, dad moments. Oh, it'd help if there was any of them out.
That's how bad of dads we are. There are no moments.
Oh, yeah. So this is moments before Donnie pushed her into the lake.
Yeah. Well, I tried to feed her to a bird, which you'll find out.
Nice. That's some good dadding.
So my whole Monday evening was really nice. My daughter and I went fishing for about an hour by ourselves while brother was taking a nap.
Geo Metro. Put a Geo Metro on a...
I could dig that.
Prius body.
Okay. A Geo Metro.
I can dig that.
I'd do that.
I wonder how it would fit, like, wheelbase wise. Because I heard a rumor that somebody took I think it's a, like, 66 Mustang and set that... No, was it a Mach? I can't remember. It was some clapped out Mustang that was, like, destined for, basically the crusher, and they had the same situation with a Prius, and they set the body on top of it. I'll have to see if I can find that, and then maybe I'll share it on the main channel page. On the main page.
Okay, no more beer for this guy.
Wow.
He's drunk off of 4
way
sips.
Too late last night. Okay. Anyway, so This is moments before he pushed her in the lake.
Yep. So we went fishing for about an hour.
Is she still with us?
Oh, she's at home.
Okay, good.
Should be at home.
Okay.
Wife never called.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So we fished for like an hour. She didn't catch. We had like 2 bites the whole time. She didn't catch crab, which made her upset and whiny. So we go to leave, but if you click on the next picture, for about the last 20 minutes of us fishing, we had this herring just stand there on the dock and watch us. He's like 15 feet away from us.
Oh, isn't that a heron?
That's what.
Heron?
That's what I said.
You said a herring.
Herring.
A herring is a very different thing.
It's a bird. It's a bird that likes
herring
fish.
is. I'm pretty sure the heron would eat the herring.
It's a bird that likes fish. Anyway, so I sat there on the dock for like 15 minutes, and luckily, like we just kind of walked towards it and kind of scooted off this thing. But she was scared. She's like, "We can't leave." I'm like, "We can leave."
She's scared of that.
She's scared of the bird.
I mean, they're pretty intimidating.
She kept hiding behind me,
like
and I just
2.5, 3 feet tall.
This one was probably about 2 feet tall.
2 feet tall. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she kept hiding behind me, and I'm like, "No, I'm bigger than you are." So that bird attacks. I'm just gonna grab you and use it as a
shield.
As a shield. Fishing rod in one hand, so I can poke at the bird and use her as a
just
shield
to hold her on the side.
Get pecked.
It's
gonna be like jousting.
No, what you
so I'll use her like a shield, and then I'll just run at it like that.
You just grab her wrists or her ankles and just swing her at it. If you make contact, the bird's done for. If you don't make contact, the bird's like, this guy's fucking out of his mind.
He's throwing children.
Exactly. Like, if he'll throw kids, what'll he do to me?
So right before I throw my daughter at the bird, I'll just scream, "Tupac says what's up," and I'll just stop.
Exactly. Wow, wow. Chucking the kid. There it is, man.
So that's the first hour after work on Monday.
Uh-huh.
Well, I played a little disc golf with my boy, but we couldn't get the video to work, unfortunately.
Well, we got it to work. It's just auto play as soon as we went to this park.
Yeah.
Which would just shock you guys. All of a sudden, like, this little boy, like, trying to throw a disc.
Throws it better than you do.
He does.
So we finished our night walking down to Canal and going to the Portland Malt Shop, which I'm assuming you've been there before.
You know what? I know how to make this work. Keep talking.
Okay. And they have like the best ice cream in town. So
Don't
we
cut the video off. Sorry, never mind.
So yeah, we finished our Monday night just looking over the lake on I think it was like 75 degrees, just perfect night eating ice cream and just chilling.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
That's
and
fantastic.
There's your wife,
Yep.
Mid-bite.
Yep. So
Hating you right now for using that picture.
Yeah, babe, I hope you're okay with that.
No, that's awesome. So where this is in Duluth, so obviously, if you're watching this, you've probably gathered where we're from, but Duluth, Minnesota is situated right at Lake Superior, basically like points.
Yep.
It looks like a hand is pointing.
That's Lake Superior right there in the backdrop. That's all the water.
Yeah. No shit. And yeah, so we've got a lake walk that goes along pretty much the entire shoreline in Duluth. It runs a long ways, and then it becomes trails that snake through the lakeside area because there's a bunch of rich people that own the houses that are on the lake shore. But most of the touristy part, it's all kind of that lake walk thing. So this is kind of an elevated part of it that goes up to a complex called the Fitkers Complex.
Yes, and the Portland Malt Shop is next door to them.
Yeah.
And it's just, they're open a few months out of the summer and just incredible
It's like
ice cream.
a really cute little building. Just this like little stone thing. It's tiny. It's only big enough to hold the people in it and the ice cream.
Which is like 3 high school kids earning extra cash for the summer.
Pretty much, yeah. So really good ice cream, cute
Fantastic.
Little place. Yeah. Yep. So that makes sense.
That was our Monday night.
So I'm noticing a trend here. You have all of your dad moments are like these pleasant experiences with your kids and whatever. And mine are all like
house projects.
Yeah, exactly. It's a bunch of like house stuff. Okay. So what makes this is a weird picture.
Yeah.
Can you pick up what that is?
I'm gonna say insulation in the attic. Because that's obviously wires.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's true. Well, those wires aren't hooked up yet, so it's not just like random wires flopping around up there.
Why do you have your son's shovel though?
Okay, so this is cellulose insulation, and that's just like blow-in, right? Yeah. So it's just like it's basically like a little bit of fibers, a lot of ground up newspaper. It's a really decent insulation. It's cheap, right? And so that's up in the attic of my house. And what I'm doing is I discovered some not so pretty things that were up there. And what I was doing was trying to move all the insulation so that I could access all of the wiring.
So when you say not so pretty things, you talking like used clothing or like just bad wiring?
There's
and
like a hobo up there.
Yeah, a toe.
No toes, not at least that I can see so far. So I had to move the insulation, so the best thing I could come up with was to grab my son's shovel. So I went out front to where his play area is. I grabbed his little shovel and I went up there and I'm shoveling. It's like 120 degrees.
Was he playing with the shovel when you took the shovel? Like, you just go out and just snatch it from him?
Yeah, like I just do like the like you've seen the movie 300, right?
Yeah,
you just kicks him down the hole,
kick him in the chest, and just take the shovel.
Grab the shovel. So I went up there and I started digging around a little bit, and I found this. So this is obviously like the repaired portion of it, and what you're seeing is knob and tube wiring. So
I got some of that in my house.
Yeah, my house is from 1904 or 1905, something like that.
About 3 years younger than Jake.
Yeah, and so it's got old. It looked like, at least when we bought it and I did my initial inspection, it looked like there wasn't knob and tube hiding anywhere. And it's not uncommon for there to still be knob and tube that's active in old houses because it's not a great wiring, but it's not horrible. Like, it works. Just don't try and ask a lot of it. Yeah. Because it's like barely shielded.
Like run a garage off of a switch off of it.
You have the garage is running off knob and tube.
I don't think the garage is.
Welded. This guy has welded in his garage.
I don't think
that is ran from the garage to the house on a 15 amp switch, and you're telling me that switch is fed by knob and tube?
I don't think it is.
If your insurance is gonna watch this, they're gonna drop you.
I don't think the garage is. I don't think that switch is.
Oh my
but I know
God.
there's knob and tube in the basement, and I think it just feeds a couple of the outlets downstairs.
Let's hope it's only downstairs.
Hopefully. If you ever finish this thing up and can help me with my projects, we can
We gotta redo the garage.
we can wire the garage up.
Yeah. So it's not the worst thing if it's powering like light circuits.
Yeah.
That's not the end of the world. So knob and tube, and I'm not an expert or anything like that, but knob and tube, the biggest risk is that it's insulated and that it gets hot. So when I saw this up here, buried in 2 feet of insulation, it's about as insulated as it gets. So if it gets hot, that's where it becomes a fire risk.
Yeah.
But what's kind of neat about knob and tube is that generally in Romex wiring, it's all shielded inside of one sheath. So the arcing risk is actually higher than with knob and tube, because knob and tube is the two wires are ran like opposite, or very, how do I explain this? Floor joists and then wall studs, they're ran on opposites. Okay. So it has 16 inches and more between the two of them. So the risk of arcing is really low.
You still don't want that up
But
in
you
your
have
attic.
pretty much like exposed wire.
Yeah, you still don't want that
So
buried
anyway,
insulation.
So what I did was, you see new wiring here. The white one was existing. They had a mixture of knob and tube and some new stuff. Ran
Just
up
twisted
there, too.
together and stuff?
Just
Or just
strange. No, they were none of them were connected. Though,
Okay.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad to see that. So what the new stuff, all the brand new things you see there is what I installed, and basically what I'm doing is I'm rewiring my master bedroom, because it used to have knob and tube feeding into the lights, the light fixture, and then running conduit on the outside, on the face of your wall, down to a switch on a box mounted to the face of the wall, running conduit down to an outlet. So knob and tube was feeding an outlet in my room.
Lovely.
So I did not love that. So no ground, old ass wiring. So anyway, I eliminated all of that, and now it's all like I ran a dedicated 20 amp line all the way up to the bedroom, because I'm going to be putting in an electric fireplace that's going to be mounted to the wall. I'm building like a whole fireplace around it, all like the like a fancy wood thing with a mantle and all that stuff, and there's going to be a TV above it, all the cool stuff. So you want to have more than enough juice that you're not going to trip breakers and all that
or
crap.
burn the house down or something stupid like that.
So the whole place is ran off of 20 amps. I even decided to run the light at 20 amps and have a 20 amp switch, because in case I ever want to put a fan in there, because they have heated fans now too, in case I ever wanted to do anything funky like that, just one and done.
Yeah,
Over
you have enough supply that you can easily switch it up if you needed to.
So the whole room is now 20 amp, and that's what you're seeing there is new fancy 20 amp stuff. And so the knob and tube is obviously still being used elsewhere, so what I needed to do is terminate it, and that's what those two little boxes are with the gray caps, is that it's terminated inside of that. So
lovely.
That's my dad moment of re-engineering the electrical system in my house.
I'll stick with ice cream with my kids.
Yeah.
That sounds way more fun.
I love this stuff. The worst part was like the heat, because it was so ungodly hot up there.
It's August.
Oh, it was awful. I mean, it had to have been 100 plus up there, 110 degrees. You just walk up and it's just a sauna. And here's the thing. I was wearing one of those spacesuits because it's... cellulose isn't really itchy, it isn't like toxic, it's not like dangerous or anything, but it's just like fluffy, fibery crap that you don't want to get on everything. And the idiots who own this house, and this is probably how they built it, the attic access is in the linen closet. It's not on the landing,
okay.
It's in the linen closet.
Normally it's in like the hallway.
Yeah, normally it's the landing, the hallway, an easily accessible spot. No, you got to shimmy up in your linen closet and go up through this hole that's this big. So I just didn't want to rain a bunch of crap down, so I wore like the whole suit. I covered everything up with a plastic, like 2 mil plastic drop cloth, and then just kind of shimmied my way up there that way. So I'm up there in that kind of heat, basically with plastic covering me, trying not to die. It was rough, but got through it.
Well, that's a
dad moment,
yeah.
Right? All right, so we got a couple things coming up. What do you want to do first? You got a box to open, and you've got a fail of the week.
Let's do the fails. Just get it over with.
Okay.
Rip that Band-Aid right off.
Yeah.
So, my fail of the week...
should we show?
No. Let me give a little backstory first.
He needs to explain.
So, my fail of the week happened today at about 9:15,
Did you
9:30.
take a shower after?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So a little backstory before I show you this image. I work on big utility trucks. That's what I was working on today, involving a hydraulic system.
Were you lifting something really heavy and it just gave out?
Nope. You can share him the picture. You can share the picture, then I'll explain. So, yep, that's those are my boxes that I started my day off with. Just drenched in hydraulic fluid.
Yeah, hydraulic fluid.
That's taken in our work shower. We have a shower in our locker room. And
that's McDonald's
that
breakfast.
That's what 3 weeks of Taco Bell will do to you.
Oh
no.
my god! So you're telling me you had to do the shower at work?
I showered at work.
Oh,
so
can you imagine what's on that floor?
Oh, it's
the amount of
nasty.
DNA down there.
So that's the least of my worries.
All the DNA is now gone after you rinsed all that off.
So what I was doing was hooking up a lower tool circuit on this truck, which is just a high pressure port and a return port in the back of the truck, and then 2 hoses that go into the valve assembly. And the valve assembly, the 2 ports I was tying into, should not have had any fluid there, or very minimal fluid. And I grabbed a small drain pan, thinking like I might dribble a little bit, like this will be more than enough space. So I cracked open the first port, took the plug out, and it didn't that's not what got me at all. It started to pour out and it started to fill up the drain pan kind of quick. So I'm like, oh shit, I need to move quickly now. So I have to put a fitting on and then attach the hose. And as I was fumbling around with that, I tried to at this point the pan is probably half full. Uh-huh. And I'm trying to move the hose up, but get the pan out of my way so I can do it better. And the pan slipped out of my hand and hit part of the frame of the truck and poured on my lap.
Oh my god. See, this looks like, because it almost cuts off perfectly at a height, it looks like you fell into a vat of something.
Yeah, I was drenched from my belt line down to my knees in hydraulic fluid at, like I said, about 9:20.
Watermelon thinks that you're mud butt.
Yeah.
It looks like it.
Oh man, it was
So how much does that reek?
It's not the smell, it's the feel.
Oh boy.
I couldn't tell if I was really sweaty today at work or if it was hydraulic fluid. So at this point, I'm like,
how do you even wash hydrauc fluid off? Dawn dish soap?
The stuff we have is actually not that bad.
Gojo? You're just gojoing your gooch? You feel sandy the whole day?
Just a lot of suave hand soap and just splatting it on.
Sure.
No, so at this point, I'm just like, well, I'm covered in hydraulic fluid. I might as well finish up what I'm doing because I could make another big mess. So after swearing and dropping the F-bomb a bunch and my coworkers coming around thinking I got hurt.
Laughing.
Then they laughed,
when they realized it.
I got everything done and I called my wife. I'm like, I need you to do me a favor. She's like, okay. I'm like, I need you to grab me a pair of boxers, a pair of pants, and a towel and come down to work.
You know what she thought.
Oh yeah. She didn't.
Did you shit yourself?
She didn't say it, but she probably thought of
Wait, you didn't explain it either? You're just I need you to grab these things and come down?
Yeah.
So her whole drive down was just thinking, I'm married to a guy who shit himself.
So she gets down there, and I explained to her what happened and all that. And luckily in our locker room, we have a shower. Mm-hmm. And we also work with a bunch of guys that like to ride their bikes to work. So I get up there, and there's just Axe body soap and Old Spice and all that just kind of hanging out in the shower. And
oh, gotcha.
Thank you. Because that's
they ride their bikes there, so they're sweaty.
They shower. Yeah, engineers. People that just sit at a desk all day.
Ah, gotcha.
So so I ended up
showering. God forbid you have swass while you're sitting at your desk.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I had to take a shower and then change and then take the long walk back to the shop with my bag of soiled clothes and towel.
Jesus, that's a good one. That is a good story.
So that's my fail of the week.
Man. When I saw this, I do all the setup work of putting together the photos and cropping and kind of getting it situated for this. And so when I was downloading that onto the computer to post it up, he didn't give me any context on this.
No, I was just like, I uploaded a photo.
Was just saturated and dark, whatever. But it's not quite shit looking because
No.
you wouldn't have that much shit up here.
No.
Unless
And
something horrible went wrong.
Let me put it this way. So after I changed and I got cleaned up and all that, I walked back and people were like, well, how bad are your pants and all that? And I just ran my finger across and it's like I just dipped my finger in a bucket.
Oh, is that bad? So that was just a
nasty.
throw it out situation?
I brought them home. I don't know if they're in the wash or not.
Oh my god. You will not get that out of your washing machine.
It should be okay. Our hydraulic fluid is not like transmission fluid.
Oh my god.
It's a little bit thinner stuff.
You run that through the washing machine that washes your children's clothes?
I'll wash my stuff first. It should be okay. It drains all the fluid, the water out, and then puts new water in. No?
I would never. That's why some people have separate washing machines.
I don't know. Here's
what you're gonna do.
I wash all my work clothes at home.
Just make sure there's nobody else's stuff getting washed with it.
No, absolutely not.
Have that thing ran with hot water and a lot of detergent. Probably do bleach, and then I'd probably do detergent's pretty degreasing. I'd do a couple of cycles afterwards.
My work clothes are washed strictly by themselves because they're so nasty.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry I don't have a desk job like you do.
I don't have a desk job, dude. I just don't go bathing in vats of hydraulic fluid. Jesus Christ. You got something to open up? You want to show the people?
Yeah. Oh, you don't have any fails? I'm the only one that has a fail?
Yeah, I just don't fail that often.
Oh, God. Yeah, well,
I just didn't have anything.
Like, what's the worst thing that happens to you? Oh, I stubbed my finger on my keyboard.
Well, yeah, while you were eating ice cream, I was rewiring the upstairs of my house. What were you doing? Eating ice cream.
Nothing wrong with that.
Uh-huh.
So that's your fail of the week.
That's my fail?
You could have been eating ice cream.
I actually thought about that. I was like, so could this be the fail of the week, or could this be the dad moment? And I figured, well, I mean, we're going to play some stereotypes, but dads are usually the ones fixing stuff, so that, to me, was a dad moment.
All right.
Open that box. Yeah. You need another beer?
I'll need another beer.
All right, so Surly beer number 2.
Oh.
This is called Furious, and this is probably their most known brewski.
I don't know if you want me to have this.
Why? You get Furious?
I almost got kicked out of a Culver's once because of this.
You'll be all right.
All right.
Well, you think one beer is gonna like turn you into
it's one of those beers though that I really, really like, and I have a tendency to like not drink just a beer, more like a
we
six-pack
don't have
beer.
enough for you to get crazy.
Get wasted.
Look at that. Now the people can see us better.
I guess that's a good thing.
All right. So what do you got here? What's the deal with this thing?
These are actually parts for the BMW, which you still haven't seen video of.
I know, right?
Not to dangle that carrot anymore. But
you will.
We are going to be swapping that car this winter, and currently
swapping it for a Geo Metro on a Prius frame.
Yeah. So we're just getting rid of the car apparently.
Yep.
But currently the coolant temp gauge has got a mind of its own, and we are gonna try to get some Auto X time in, but
that's a big box for a coolant temp sensor.
Because it's not the only gauge that's in here.
Oh, gauge. Huh?
I ordered. So this is from a company called Speedhut.
Ooh.
Yeah. So this took.
Oh, here I didn't even.
You can't read the box.
Yeah. Well, no. Look at it. Like you have to have looked at the bottom.
I guess if you just see this, it says.
Show the people so they understand.
So it says.
That's the only way that you can see Speedhut is that right there.
Speedhut.
Yeah. Oh, that's sweet, man.
This just says Pede with lots of E's.
Pede.
But anyways, so this is from Speedhut. They do custom gauges. Nice. They can do sizes, color difference. They let you pick what LED backlight you want. If you want to upload pictures and images, all that kind of jazz.
Phallic symbols on your gauges.
Yeah. So I'm very basic. When the car is shut off, I want everything just to be black. So these should just have a black backdrop to them and stuff.
Oh, is it like a
gauge phase?
Like smoked. So when it shuts off, you can't see anything?
No. I didn't see that option on their website, but I'm very bad at looking for things. Like, ask my wife. When my wife chimes in, she'll agree.
Yeah. Wait, is that a slight towards your wife?
No. She knows. She'll get on me, so I'll be like, "Hey, babe, where's this at?" And then she'll walk in and be like, "Did you even look?"
She'll walk in. You'll be sitting on the couch. She'll go to the end table next to you, looking at you,
It's right
grab
there.
the thing.
And she'll be like, "Hey, can you get Roman's water cup out of the fridge?" And I'll walk in there. 10 minutes later, babe, I don't see it. She'll walk in, like it's there in front of the milk. Oh, okay. I was looking at the shelves up here. I didn't look
And it's
all the way
right
down.
there. Okay.
Below eye level.
Yeah.
So this should be a water temp gauge, a air fuel ratio gauge with a wideband because the swap will involve a turbo and a boost gauge.
I agree, Christine.
What'd she say?
You're awful.
Yeah, awful looking for things.
Dun. I feel like we need to have a drum roll. That's why we need Northbound Giants. Waldo can be doing the drumming. Waldo's the drummer. So you put that together from that statement.
He's actually the bass player, but plays a mean.
At a bass.
He plays a mean snare too.
Yeah.
So I can't remember what I ordered because it was 6 weeks ago. But this should
like
be
a bunch of junk.
that is the complete harness.
Wait, you told the wife you bought this, right?
Yeah. It kind of came on my phone. Yeah.
Okay, good. So this isn't like the incriminating moment where like she's watching from afar and you're just like, I spent $600 on this.
By the way, babe, we might be a little short on our mortgage payment this month.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
Just
so
blame it on COVID.
these came with complete kits to wire them in, all that kind of stuff, lines, all that fun
Where's
stuff.
bugs coming from?
So that is boost and vacuum. I want to say it's got instructions, which is nice. The water temp harness with fittings.
Yeah, you're gonna show them the wiring. Show them the gauges, dude.
I'm taking
the important part.
I'm taking them out of the box in the order that I grabbed.
Just go like tape it upside down. Just dump it out. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a black wire with a red tracer, and this is a white wire with no tracer.
I'm gonna punch you. They're gonna see you get your ass kicked tonight.
Oh, you're the one who was bleeding in the garage earlier.
Yeah.
He gets nosebleeds like a little bitch.
It's the dry air.
Okay. In the middle of summer when it's been raining.
So,
all right, show the people.
So that's my water gauge and the boost gauge that I got.
Oh, yeah.
So what's cool about these guys, like I said, is you can fully customize everything to what it says, the backlighting, what color outer ring you want. Oh, thanks.
You gotta let the people see.
Thanks,
all right,
Vanna.
explain it. Go ahead. No, I'm the one doing this, and you're the one explaining it. Come on, Alex.
So,
Suck it, Trek. No, wait, that's
Sean Connery.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You're doing a really shitty Sean Connery impression.
But that's like completely. Vanna White isn't even in
No,
jeopardy.
no, she's not.
We need to do a crossover. Vanna White needs to be in jeopardy, and she could be like, "This is the box you're choosing." S words for 200. Swords. Come on, SNL reference somebody. Therapist, the rapist. You know? No, nothing.
No.
Okay.
Okay,
All right,
anyways.
gauges.
So, like the boost gauges, you can set your maximum and highest reading, or maximum and highest is the same thing. Your maximum and lowest reading on there. You can set a, I forgot what that feature is.
Peek and hold.
6 weeks. Yeah, you can peek and hold, all that fun
So
kind of stuff.
like you can recall it. Like
Yes.
basically you can go back to what was the peak. So when your engine's melting down, you can be like, oh, it hit 280 degrees.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's a boost gauge, but yeah, on the temp gauge. So
Boost gauge.
Boost gauge, water gauge.
We're boosting something?
Yeah, so we're gonna boost it.
Oh,
It's gonna make all the noises.
you're giving things away. No, it's pretty
And then
sweet.
this is all the wideband standalone fun stuff.
These are like the equivalent of bubble wrap.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the air fuel gauge, which again you can set all your readings out, warning lights, all that fun
Want me to
jazz.
throw this across the shop, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, actually do. They're actually mini frisbees.
Nice.
So yeah, so everything like I
Wait,
said,
what's that one?
this is the air fuel gauge.
Air fuel.
Yep.
Okay, so you got water temp, boost,
and
air
wideband.
fuel. Nice.
So everything with all the harnesses to just install it, whatever, customization, all that fun stuff.
That'll be perfect when we swap the Ecotech in.
I thought we were going to do a D series, but whatever.
Oh, no, that's for something else.
So,
That's
yeah,
going on the go-kart.
ran about $480 after shipping, which isn't too bad.
No,
the downside is because they're kind of made to order, it took about 6 weeks to get.
Right.
But they announced Tuesday that they shipped, and I got them like literally today.
That's awesome.
We just got dinner, and then
Yeah, that was really funny.
FedEx lady was at my doorstep as we were driving by. I'm like, "Here's my ID. Can I have my stuff?"
It was pretty slick, yeah.
So money well spent. 'Cause
Yeah.
you obviously want to protect your investment.
And in terms of, there's a lot of brands, there's a ton of brands out there that actually
AEM.
make gauges. Yeah,
Autometer's supposed to be pretty good.
Yeah, so on and so forth. VDO, obviously Speedhut, Autometer.
Glow shift.
Shift,
You want cheap?
Whatever the brand is, Equus at O'Reilly's. I'm drawing a blank on a Defi. Defi's another really
Defi's
good
actually supposed to
quality
be pretty
one.
good.
And Speedhut's probably my favorite, just based on what I've seen people purchase. I haven't bought one yet, but if I do an aftermarket gauge in this one, they actually have one that's made for the old CJ Wranglers, like the old Jeeps. That's like a 5 1/4, and this one's like a 6 or a 5. No, it's 5 1/2. I think this is a 6. So then what I'll just do is I'll just turn a spacer on Delrin or something on the lathe, and make up the excess. Run that.
I see. I just loved how there's just unlimited options. Like
Right.
I said,
you name it, you can customize it.
You're building a cart for SEMA, so you want your business logo to be on all the gauges. You can easily do all that kind of stuff. The readouts of them, the bezels, whatever, the sizes, everything. So, like I said, being made to order, it's kind of nice if you're kind of picky on what you're doing.
Well, here, Pro Sport sucks though. I do actually have a Pro Sport oil pressure gauge out in the garage that I just have not used, or in the shed rather. It's just been sitting there for 8 years or something like that.
Probably a reason for that.
Yeah, I mean, their boost gauge treated me pretty good in the Del Sol, but there isn't a whole lot required of reading air pressure.
Not really.
But, it looks like Steve is on. He has Speedhuts in his S10. So that's kind of sweet.
I'm super excited to get those installed, but that's going to be this winter, and we'll probably have the video out 5 years from now.
Yeah. The car will already be running on the road, and we still won't have it out, but we'll be doing videos on lawnmowers instead. And
Yep.
Yeah.
How to modify grills.
Yeah, these are very pretty.
Yeah.
So you went with kind of like the most basic. It looks OEM.
Yep, I want kind of an OEM. So the interior of that car is very black. It's got black Porsche 911 seats, black dash, all that kind of stuff. So I want everything just kind of match nice.
It probably didn't work, yeah. Yeah, that is super nice. And I love it. Yeah, it has that very OE look to it. So regardless of what you end up running on your dash, if that works with the motor going in,
yes,
then yeah, that should jive.
Should
Jive. It'll work.
Should look really nice.
Yes.
Should really
tie
the car together.
Oh man, we can't go through a podcast without having a Lebowski reference.
No.
At least once.
No, I still haven't watched that sequel I bought, by the way.
You bought
not the sequel. I guess it's a
what is it called again? Something about the Jesus.
The Jesus rolls.
Fuck of the Jesus. Yeah.
The Jesus rolls.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. I'm excited to watch that.
We
It's probably not
gotta
that
find time to watch
good, but it's worth checking out.
Oh yeah, it was like $15. So even if it sucks, I'd be like, whatever. I'm out $15. I don't care. That's nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well.
Anything else we need to share with everybody?
Well, we can move on to Marketplace.
Oh yeah, I always forget about Marketplace, and I don't know why.
It's like my favorite segment.
I think it's because I try not to be on Marketplace
because I end up that we come across
and I end up spending money I don't need to spend. I'm like, I should really buy this. I don't know what I'm gonna do with a dirt bike, but I should buy a dirt bike or whatever pops up.
Yeah, definitely. You should buy a dirt bike.
I don't need
That'd
a dirt bike.
That'd be some good footage watching you fall.
I've never crashed a dirt bike. I came close, but we could just get knobby tires for the Grom.
We should definitely do that.
Yeah.
We should do a Grom build.
We should get.
We should keep talking about the BMW, but do a Grom build first.
We should get all these other projects done first, and then worry about the Grom.
And then maybe I'll pick up a motorcycle as well. Maybe a Grom.
Or we'll just finish your motorcycle finally.
Which one?
The 750?
I got the KZ440 that I've got to finish up.
And the Ruckus.
Yeah.
we have the 450 to put together and the 360 to put together.
We have a lot of motorcycles, and that's kind of like one of the tipping points when we were talking about doing dad mods with Mischief Garage back then. Ages ago, it was like, oh, we've got these couple of cars, but we've also got collectively like a dozen motorcycles that have to get done.
Motorcycles are dangerous in the fact that they're so easy to store. You're like, oh yeah, I'll just put it behind the garage.
So easy to store until you have too many, and then you're looking at storage. You're like, because I need to store all of these bikes that I'm never gonna get to. Yeah, you could like stand back and throw a rock, and whichever bike you hit is the one that we could just start working on.
Oh, yeah.
Like I just
Easily.
have enough out there that.
Well, the crap thing is like there's more bikes I want to purchase. Like I want an old BMW at some point in time.
Right.
I would love to get my hands on a Triumph or a Norton.
A Norton would be sweet.
And it's just
big bucks.
Yeah, they're big bucks, but it's like even if I had the money, it's like focus.
Yeah.
Get done what we have.
I think if I buy another bike, it's probably gonna be a Husqvarna Vitpillen.
I don't think I know what that is.
Yeah, they're sweet. Look them up.
Okay.
Vitpillen. Vitpillen.
Oh, that's a
They've
real
got
bike.
the 701 and the 401.
Sounds like you're intoxicated trying to impress a
They're
lady.
so cool looking. They're kind of like they're sort of a Neo Street Fighter cafe racer looking thing from the factory. Brand new bikes. They have spoked wheels. They have like this very minimalistic little body to them. They've got a round headlight. They're super old school looking, but they also are super modern looking. It's kind of like, how to explain it? It's very much a Street Fighter meets a cafe racer.
Okay, I'd be all over that.
They're amazing looking. And the 401 is obviously a 400cc. The 701 is a 700cc. So I really want to own one at some point. And if we had a little bit better setup here, we'd probably show you guys. Like we'd be able to like plug it in.
Look at this.
Yeah, look it up, Jamie. You know,
we're not,
Joe Rogan reference.
We're not quite there yet.
We'll get there.
We have a laptop and a mic.
Yeah, a mic, a camera. Well, technically we've got the second camera here too.
Technically, but that's kind of garbage.
We're not going to use that because it'd pretty much just be a shot of our midsection. So anyway, marketplace finds for the week.
Yeah.
We want to start this off, though, by saying this doesn't have to be just you and I.
No.
If you guys come across something on Marketplace,
share it with us.
That is hilarious or awesome or, you know, ladies of the night, whatever. Send it our way. It might get featured on Marketplace.
We don't want ads for Christian Mingle, please.
Yeah, not unless she's really pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't. No. So what we have this week is we've got some stunners here.
Yeah, so
this is Donnie's find.
Technically, this wasn't Marketplace.
Which is a real piece of shit.
Oh yeah, but I'd buy it in a heart. See, this is the problem. I see this, I'm like, I need that. I don't know where I'm gonna put it, but I need that.
So what are we looking at?
It's a 1970 Datsun 1200, or kind of the early Maximum.
Well, I think that's
kind of what they
don't have good. Facebook Marketplace doesn't have like a good system for logging like obscure cars. That's why it just screws things up, and they're like, oh, it's not actually $4,567. It's because Marketplace wouldn't let me price it at the correct price. Yeah. And you see that a lot.
Well, the problem with this ad is they're like, it's valued between $1,000 and $4,000. Make me an offer.
Well, that's a load of horseshit.
Which sucks because it's not. It's just not. It needs obviously a complete restoration, but these old Datsuns are getting hard to find, and they're super cool.
Yeah. This
super,
one's
super
like
cool.
kind of a neat old car. Let's scroll on down here so I can add in the picture. Yeah. So okay, we didn't have the best of pictures to begin with this thing, so bear with the ones that we're sharing. I mean, these old Datsuns are beautiful looking. They're super cool, but this thing was found inside of a dilapidated garage in Duluth.
Yeah.
Right?
So
somebody's like rehabbing a house or something, tore the garage down around it, and this thing was sitting in. I'm pretty sure what we're seeing is
this the spot that it was found?
Of literally the garage was removed around this thing. I think.
So, like, I'd be curious to make them an offer on it, but I think they're one of those people that are hoping they get that like $3,500 mark.
Which is such horseshit.
And they're not going to.
Unless this thing's rust-free, which you can look at the bottom of the door and very clearly see there's rust,
Yeah.
which means the floors are probably soft.
Well, my guess is it's sat in the garage forever. Clearly, the yard's on a slope towards the garage.
Oh, that could be why the garage is so dilapidated.
Exactly. So how much of that rotted out underneath the car and stuff like
Yeah.
that? I bet you it needs a pan and all that
That's
fun
a good
stuff.
point. Well, and if you look at it, it almost, well, I'd say it almost looks high-centered, but maybe not.
I think you're just high-centered.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways,
Well, it's cool. It's a cool car.
Old Japanese cars. I someday will own one.
Right.
But for now, I think an E30 with old Japanese car inspiration is probably the best way to go. I like that idea better because I already have an E30.
He's dangling a carrot.
Yes, a whole bag of carrots. I don't know
Whole
what's a
bag of carrots.
what's a group of carrots?
All right, so,
Like a you have like a bushel of grapes.
oh man, what?
It's a,
I don't know.
a bundle of carrots.
A bundle of carrots. I feel like
shitload of carrots.
we're tiptoeing on something not PC. Bundle of carrots, bundle of sticks. Isn't that a faggot?
I don't think so.
No, I thought that's what it was. I thought a faggot was a bundle of sticks.
I don't think so.
No, somebody, Jamie, look that up. we need a dude on the computer to look things up.
Steve, I know you're not up to date.
No, really, like I heard it on Joe
Look.
Rogan's podcast, which means it's true.
Yeah, because you believe everything on the internet
I
nowadays.
don't know. Maybe please don't cancel me. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. Let's look at the ridiculousness that I found.
I saw a glimpse of this, and I want more. I want to know what it is.
Amazing. Okay, what we're looking at here is a Foxbody Mustang on 35s.
Why 35s?
Because fuck it.
They didn't even lift it. They didn't even lift it. That's the funny thing is they're
Well,
like,
it's lifted now.
well, it's lifted because of the 35s, but they
Yeah.
didn't lift the suspension to fit the 35s.
Well, you think about like the pumpkin clearance you have now with 35s.
Yeah, like 3 more inches.
Pretty much.
Because it's a Foxbody. They didn't sit super low to begin with.
Well, I saw this thing and I was like, I need to own
Yes.
2.5 of these.
I think we should get into rally racing and buy a Foxbody and do that.
I mean, look at that. That is so cool. I think it was a gambler car or something like that.
That makes more sense.
Maybe.
That is
But it
that
says-
is very
no,
cool
it
though.
doesn't say it's like, I don't even know. Not 4x4, not a 5 liter. So,
Is that the 2.4?
it
Is that what they had
could
about
be
it?
the 2.3
It was a
liter.
2.3.
So they had a 2.3 liter that was turbo, and they had a 2.3 liter that was non-turbo.
Something tells me that's
and
non-turbo.
had 8 spark plugs.
Why?
Because efficiency? I don't know.
I've never understood that. Here's
I don't know,
here's a
better
sports
burn.
car, but we're gonna make it efficient. Like no, the point
Or
of
here's a
it,
sports car, and we're gonna put a very non-sports car motor in
yeah,
it.
like the point of driving a Mustang or an STI or something like that is just to go, like to have fun, to have a fun, quick car.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
why
I mean,
dumb it down?
or you could be like Subaru, and you could put a high-performance motor into their sports car, and then they just blow up, and you can't drive them.
Yeah.
And the Mustang with a 4-cylinder with 8 spark plugs passes you as it.
But see,
you know,
in
goes down
the
road waving
Mustang
it.
though, you're gonna be doing jail time for the people you ran.
Oh,
over.
that's such a good point. So really, the Subaru is being pushed past the guy who's in the Slammer because he took to the crowd killer out for a cruise.
Exactly.
There it is. I mean, that's the math of it. So your best interest is to buy a
Toyota.
1995 Toyota Camry. Perfect. There it is. Okay. So I had to share this thing with you guys because I love it so much.
Now, not to take away from this masterpiece of an automobile, go back to go to the other picture you just set up
This one?
to the bridge.
The bridge.
I don't know where that's at, but we need to go there. That's a really cool place to do photos.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean,
That's
if
super
it's still
cool.
available, which I'm sure nobody's bought this thing yet, we can message him and be like, "Where is that?"
That is cool though.
It is a really
I
cool
would
picture.
I would drive the crap out of that Mustang. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's one of those. It's like our Civic.
That we never drive.
Yeah. Does it make a lot of sense? Yeah. But it would be a blast to drive.
Yeah.
You could have a lot of fun with it.
The Civic would be a blast to drive.
The Civic is
would be a blast to drive, but we don't drive it.
but we don't drive it. The Civic is a blast to drive if
Oh,
there's
man.
ice on the road because
Yeah.
you could just bounce it off the
That's
snowbanks.
literally why you guys haven't seen it at all. One, this pandemic bullshit has just ruined car stuff for the whole summer. So we would have had it at a rallycross at least. I don't know, every month.
We would have thought about taking it to a rallycross.
Really? Because we hit up some rallycrosses last year. I
We
think
hit
we would
up
have got
a
that.
rallycross.
2.
Oh,
I
yeah,
raced in one, and the other one I got stuck.
the other one, you didn't even make it to the start line.
Precisely.
If you want a good laugh, go back to our Civic build
Oh my
and
God.
watch him get stuck about 40 feet
Watch
shy
the-
of the start line.
The rallycross video, or oh man, the music is perfect too for that moment.
What's
because
funny
it's
is that video's
a
got a bunch
fail.
of hits.
a lot.
And
Yeah.
it's just us stuck in the mud.
A couple thousand. Oh, that's the funniest part of it, and I'm sure it's like the thumbnail is really good and eye catchy. But like, we have the video where it gets stuck. We don't get to ice race, and then later on that day we take it out because we had a
rally race.
snowstorm.
Then it
Or the
snowed.
next day or a week later, whatever it was. Snowstorm took it out, fucked around with that.
Hit some ice.
Hit some ice, bashed the camera.
Yes.
But then, like, a month later, we took it to another rallycross and actually raced it, and that video doesn't have as many
Yeah,
hits.
you
I
raced it because I was recovering from surgery.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right, because, yeah, you got your testicles removed in California because of that Galapagos tortoise.
That makes no freaking sense.
What did I say?
You're cut off on beer tonight. Go
Yeah.
drink some water.
Some water.
So yeah,
Watermelon. Anyway.
yeah. So if you have any
So-
marketplace finds, anything you think is just funny, awesome, good deal, what have you, send them to us, and we might share them if they're worthy.
Yep. Tater topics.
Tater topics? Is
Tater
that what
topics.
we'll do?
No, we're not going to call it that, but for now
No?
we're going to call it that. Grab the tater topics. Look at this guy. Look at you. You're actually prepared. You knew to
Actually
grab it.
prepared. Actually prepared. So
You
here's
guys see
get
the
this
look on
crap.
this guy's
Get
face?
this crap. Hey, 7:00. We should probably get ready for the podcast because we always run into problems. 7:10. Hey, I'm gonna go inside and get the laptop. Okay, a little bit behind schedule. 8:05. Finally live. I'm prepared.
What in any of that equation did you do? It sounds like you
I
did
was
nothing
ready.
and I did everything.
I was ready.
So-
I had the stool set up.
Yeah.
I had the mic set up. I had the camera set up.
Any jackass can be ready if he makes the other person do everything and just sits there, twiddles his thumbs.
I've asked you to show me how to upload photos and stuff on there.
You have uploaded photos.
I've
you go
shared them to the
Drive and you upload them, and then I download them and set them into the machine.
It was like,
I can't trust you for that.
You can't trust me for
I
that?
don't think you can do it.
I don't think I could.
I bet you probably can.
Didn't you struggle to take apart a steering wheel tonight?
Yes, I did. I didn't have to take the screws out, and I did anyway. And you were like, this is like a bayonet. You can just go, what? And it pops right out. And I'm like,
Okay.
fuck me.
All right.
Anyway,
Yeah. So
tater topic.
or
Or-
Tupperware topics.
So where that comes from is we were going to put all of our little, like, see, okay. Back all of this up.
like 3 episodes ago.
Okay, so
2 episodes ago.
we decided to do it's sort of like a whose line is it anyway, random topic, you write it
Yeah.
on a thing.
Seems
we
from a
actually
hat.
got this, seems from a hat.
You
we
say
got
seams from
seams, hats have seams.
Okay.
I don't know where I'm going with this. So we got this from Improv here in town, and it's sort of, I don't even remember what it's called, but you write anyway, you write a phrase, you write something random down on a piece of paper, throw it in the bucket, and then while they're doing their improv thing, they're just like, yeah, so me and Clarice were out to a drive, and we were sitting in and they pull it out, and it's like, the Grey Poupon, and then they have to kind of like try and roll with it,
Yeah.
which is a terrible example, so...
So yeah,
There we
so
are.
we just have random topics. If you
Random
have any
topics.
random topics for us, you can mail them to his address, or just
Email us,
Facebook,
comment, PM,
Yep.
DM.
Yeah, we have the comments right there.
all the stuff.
So I think I
Send it our
drew
way.
last time.
Oh, great. Out of the 3 that are
Yeah,
left.
they're all like. No, I've added 2 more tonight.
Oh, have you? See, that's smart.
Yeah, because
I
I'm
need to add a
prepared.
few more. All right.
They're all kind of like stuck together, so it's. Hopefully, it's a good one.
Oh,
Hopefully, it's not one I wrote.
oh, it helped if my hands worked. Okay, it is. Now I'm
is
gonna
it?
try and make this out.
Do you want me to read it?
Make out what you wrote here. What is the perfect car Does that say ever? You know there isn't an A in ever.
That's an E. That's an E.
Sure, buddy.
That's an E. EVER.
Okay. So, what is what is the perfect car?
Ever made, like, including price tag, reliability, performance. Like,
Okay,
what's the
so-
best all-around?
Best all-around car ever made. Oh my god. Well, I mean, we already hit in the 95 Toyota Camry.
That's
so I
exactly
feel like,
what
that's
my
the
God
problem.
was.
We already answered it. Okay, so the best car ever made. My god.
I have an argument
there
for
are
this.
So many, for a lot of different reasons. Please, you guys, if you have an idea of what the perfect car ever made is, let us know. Throw something in the comments because we're gonna hash this thing out.
Yeah, and for instance, when we say perfect car ever made, like, yeah, the Ferrari F40 is a fantastic vehicle, but it's so expensive none of us can afford it. So therefore, it's bumped from the list.
Okay, so all-around car. It needs to be affordable. Needs to be reliable. Needs to be performing.
Yeah, it needs to be a
Just a
fun
great car.
Yep.
Wow, you're really trying to narrow this thing down.
I think I have mine, and it's gonna be completely different than what everyone else goes with.
Is it?
For me, and it's a car I've actually owned before.
It's a 1993 Subaru Legacy wagon.
It was a '97 Legacy wagon. Fun to drive.
Or back to Subarus.
You could fit the entire family in it, all-wheel drive. It was a 2.2, so it didn't blow up.
So,
I guess it doesn't qualify for sporty though.
Well, they're not terrible. It's not super sporty, but it was a 5-speed, so you could roll the gears.
Yeah.
They're a blast in the snow.
They are a blast in the snow.
So really, like, when we talk about sporty, we also have to take into account that, like, a lot of the people who come up with these sort of car opinions, whatever, reviews, are basing it off of warm weather. But, I mean, there's a big chunk of the country that lives in the snow, and we have a completely different criteria. Like, my 98 Jeep Cherokee was incredible fun.
See, and that would...
Like, on the dry pavement, yeah, you might go down some trails and have some fun with it
that
but the snow
make
was
that list.
amazing.
That might be in the argument for the perfect car.
Which is so funny because most people would be like, that's the worst daily driver. You would not believe how many people told me, don't daily that thing. And it was no joke. I think my favorite daily that I've ever had.
Yeah, because
I've got
as long
a
as you
really
get the 4-liter,
quick Subi. Quick turbo Subaru, leather seats, heated, comfortable as hell.
But see,
but it just didn't have what the Jeep has.
That Legacy is not the perfect car because what's the first thing you had to do to that?
Well, replace the motor?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Liability right out the window.
Yeah, and that's the thing is the 4-liter from the XJ was super reliable.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounded like somebody poured a bunch of, like, marbles into the motor, but it sounded really
the price tag's right. Like, even a used XJ is, what, $3,000?
Oh, God, that's in the high end.
Okay. For a nice one.
A clean one, 3 to 4.
I'd say one that doesn't have swimming pool fender flares.
Yeah. It doesn't have holes in the floor. So, yeah, I mean, you'll spend $5,000 on a really super nice one.
That's still an affordable car, though.
That has, like, a little bit of a lift. Like, they're almost always modified now. It's kind of hard to find stock ones that aren't roaches.
Yeah.
At least up here. But anyway, that's a good car. And actually, I didn't even think to bring that up as an example. But that is actually, it was a super cool daily. Super cool vehicle.
I hate to say it. I think you can make an argument for the Civic.
Civic is pretty good. So I was going to say...
It's boring in stock form, yes. But there's so much aftermarket support that it can reach those performance goals fairly easily.
Yeah.
But it is front-wheel drive, which kind of hinders it.
Yeah. So I was going to say Buick Roadmaster. So hear me out.
Oh, no. I love the Roadmaster.
GM V8, huge station wagon.
Do those have third-row seating in them?
Third-row seating.
Yes.
The panels, the wood panel option, or you can get them in white, black.
I think they had a matching dash, didn't it?
I think so. I mean, they were just like... I got a feeling that the Roadmaster is going to become like one of the next sort of like, you don't really expect it, high demand classics.
I could see that, though. I could definitely see that.
They have such a specific aesthetic to them.
Well, I've seen a couple on Air Ride where they just look...
And they're aired out.
They look
They look
cool.
amazing.
They're just talking like 19s.
Oh man, Dax Shepard. I almost drew a blank on his name. Dax Shepard has a built one.
Not to
I
be
think he
confused
L-
with Chad Kroger from Nickelback. Two
Yeah,
different people.
Totally different people. He LS swapped it, if I remember correctly, and built it up as like 600 horse or something like that. Like Roadmaster, right? Dax Shepard, just a regular old badass.
But see, the thing is though, you can put the kids and like all their friends in the back and still go to the park and stuff.
Well, yeah, exactly.
No one chimed in. No one knows what the perfect
Well,
car is ever made.
I also realized that like the way that I had this thing up was just sort of like they just show the window, so it might take until somebody comments on here to update all the comments. So if somebody can just type in like
Jake is dumb.
Oh well, I was just saying like penis or something, but okay.
Same thing.
Jake is dumb. It'll probably update and show all of the suggestions you guys actually have.
I don't. There's like again. I hate to say the Camry is up there on the list, but the 5-speed you can't find them, and they made a 2-door version.
Yeah. The Camry was really a solid
which
car.
is kind of cool.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, really, there are an abundance of options out there. And see, here's where like it becomes tricky because I'd also go as far as saying a DSM, a Talon, a Eclipse, but reliability is the problem.
It is the problem with it.
They make fantastic power.
They do.
It's all-wheel drive.
They're cool looking.
They're gorgeous looking cars.
The second gens especially are beautiful.
They're perfect for like a lot of passengers because the back seat's actually kind of tricky to get into.
Yeah, it's got the
kind of
back
a
seat
small
of
back seat,
an Integra.
pretty much. But I think they're fantastic when they're running good.
Got it. Mm-hmm. GMC Safari.
GMC Safari.
All-wheel
drive. 4.3 liter.
Fits everybody that you could possibly want in the back of it. You could use it as a truck if you wanted to. Back seat folds down into a bed. Captain seat's in the middle.
Yeah, that's not the worst idea.
No. Maybe it's just the fact we like vans, though, too.
We
little
keep
biased.
coming back to the vans, and I think that's a problem.
The perfect car ever made are vans. Buy a van.
I keep coming back to vans, my God. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so have we decided that it's between the Toyota Camry and the GMC Safari? All right, you guys let us know in the comments what you think. GMC Safari, 1995 Toyota Camry with a 5-speed.
Yeah, we should do a Facebook poll.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
What is the
perfect
better of the two?
Yeah.
Because if we say what is the ultimate car of all time, whatever, people will be like, what?
How do you not have the Ferrari California on there?
Why is the NSX on there?
The GT40 and all that. Like, because you can't afford those.
Yeah. I know, you throw out the whole price thing, and you really do.
Yeah.
And it's funny, you kind of called it like the GT40. That might be... I mean, really, the ones the originals that were raced.
Oh, like one of the best cars
I don't know if it
all
gets better
time.
than that.
But because of the price tag, it doesn't make it the perfect car.
Price tag, how freaking rare they are, the fact they're trying to kill you.
Yeah, maybe they are the perfect car.
Exactly. Yeah, so let us know, guys. All right, so let's hop on over to... That's everything.
Yeah, that is everything.
Okay, you got a dad joke? I don't, because I never come prepared.
I have you, which is a
Perfect.
joke,
So
and you're a dad.
All right, so should we talk about our closing tunage?
Yeah, so tonight's song is brought to you by a band called Northbound Giants. A buddy of ours, Waldo, is the drummer, or Jim Matson.
Waldo. I think he prefers Waldo. But
you're-
for this case, we'll say Jim Matson because, when they strike
professional.
it rich and they get famous, we got to give them the proper shout out on this.
That's that way they remember us.
Yeah, our lowly jackassery.
He's the drummer of them. That I cannot.
It's all them drinks.
You talk. Yeah,
See?
it's all both drinks.
Lightweight. So Northbound Giants, Minnesota-based rock band. So these guys are brand new. They just started, I think, playing. Was it last year?
I think
They
so.
formed in like
Sounds
2019.
right.
That's funny. Their bios don't have a whole lot of info on them, but we're just going off of what we've seen and talked to Waldo about. And what we've heard is they've got a band camp. So he shared a lot of that. They've done a lot of like live stuff where they're, in the recording studio and all that. And they're really good up and coming band. So we want to show you guys these guys. And hopefully you like them. Take a look. There are links in the links in the bio, links in the description. That's the word I'm looking for.
You can't talk either.
One of the platforms words format.
Social media, look them up.
Yeah, these guys are awesome. So, all right.
On that note,
Brews with the Dudes, episode 10, week 10, 10-10.
10
We love you guys.
birds.
Enjoy Northbound Giants.